My name is Brian Taghadossi, and I graduated class of 2023. While I was in undergrad, I was an organizational leadership major, and I ended up taking a class in policing, which then led me to take other criminal justice classes. And so at that point, I started realizing I was very much more interested in that, and so I ended up double majoring and adding criminal justice to the mix, and I graduated with the double major. Well, I picked McGeorge based on its location and its deep connections, within the local community. I knew that that would afford greater opportunities for me in terms of pursuing a legal career. Yeah, I served in the military from 2000 to 2006. I went to Iraq for a year during that time. I came home. I struggled for many years with mental health issues, undiagnosed PTSD, and it got to a point where things had degraded to such a point I was living in a tent, and this was just 4 years ago. And then I got placed in transitional housing for homeless vets, and one of the requirements was that I had to either go back to school or find a job, and so I opted to apply to law school, and McGeorge was my number one choice. It was my only choice, and I can't tell you how thankful I am that I chose McGeorge. I knew from before even the first day of classes that McGeorge was the right choice because as I said, I was living in transitional housing for homeless veterans. I didn't know where I was going to live. I was prepared to begin law school living in my car because the transitional housing was going to end for me. And I reached out to student housing, and they, before they could even respond, Kirsten Livingston in the admissions department, she reached out to me directly and said, Brian, don't worry about it. My husband and I will make sure you have a place to stay until student housing can get you in. And so that spoke so much to me. And then I ran into issues even with the VA sending the money for my books before that first semester of law school. And Jennifer Carr, the former assistant dean of student affairs, she told me, Brian, don't worry about it. If I have to put them all on my credit card, that's what we'll do, and we'll figure it out after the fact. And so I would choose McGeorge a million times over. I was, all 3 years, as a matter of fact, although that first year, because of COVID, there really wasn't much going on. But this year I was the vice president of the Military Law Society, and things have changed significantly since that first year. We have the Veteran Center now, and it seems as though the veteran population is growing here on campus, as well as just interest in military law and the Military Law Society. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I have had nothing but great experiences here at McGeorge being a student veteran, and I have met several other veterans who feel just as passionately about the positive aspects of the treatment we've received as veterans here as students of McGeorge. That was something that I had a passion for to begin with, just because I know personally that if I hadn't been connected with the right services, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And so when I found out that the school was going to begin its first year of the Homeless Advocacy Clinic, I wanted to be a part of it. I was so fortunate to become a part of it. And we were able to provide legal services to help eliminate barriers to housing, because there is so many, or are so many barriers to housing, especially for this increasingly growing unhoused population here in Sacramento. And so I was able to work with clients. I was able to make those decisions on my own with the supervision of Professor Hochbaum, who was fantastic through the whole process, and I will be a better lawyer because of him. I did. I did. I did two, actually. They were both with the Sacramento County Public Defender's Office. I did an externship with them for the domestic violence court, and that was tough. I mean, that was a tough experience, but it was so valuable because I realized that I had my own biases that weren't helpful, and so it allowed me to kind of step back and realize that not everything is exactly how it seems, and that was a great experience. And then I worked in the DUI courts for the fall semester of 2022, and I really enjoyed that. I was able to work directly with the assistant district attorney who was in the courtroom. I plea bargained on my own. I worked with the clients directly. And, even my first day, I secured a plea bargain for this gentleman who was 50-something years old, never had any trouble with the law, and he was so happy when I explained the deal to him that when I asked him if he was good with signing the deal, instead of giving me an answer, he hugged me, and he told me, "I prayed for you, and today you came and saved me." And so just all of the experiences I had at the Public Defender's Office were great. I got a concentration in trial and appellate advocacy. I loved the trial advocacy course. Professors Bricker and Leach were phenomenal. My GLS classes, I had Professor Croxall for GLS 1 and 2. He was so fantastic. So I'm so happy to see he got awarded Professor of the Year. So deserving. And then I loved my experience on the Moot Court Honors Board this year. That was by far my single greatest experience in law school. So I'm taking some time to catch up on lost time with my family, my wife, my kids, myself, really. And I plan on taking the February bar exam rather than the one in July. And so this is going to give me an opportunity to just take that time. Ideally, I'll pass the bar exam on the first try in February, and I would like to go back to work at the Public Defender's Office, preferably in the Veterans Treatment Court.